just beat Goodwood 10-0, and BTA beat a spirited Sauce team 13-9. So we're off to a good start. So this is our first broadcast of the weekend. Sound should be good today. I got my little fuzzy microphone thing, courtesy of Joe Dex, and should be a good ball game here. Two very storied programs. So for those of you tuning in and around the country, this is Chicago's 16-inch style softball. 60-foot bases, Brian Kearns leading off here for Flashback. And this is a tough time of the day. You can see the shadows. So some of these hitters for a portion of this game are going to have trouble. Now, if you're pitching, what you want to do is line your shadow up with home plate. Try to get a little air under it and force these hitters to have to look into the sun. Again, today and tomorrow we're playing 1-on-1 count. Once we get to Saturday, it'll be open count. So Brian Kearns here. And he swings and he delivers a sinking line drive, and it gets past the center fielder, Greg Fleming. Brian Kearns, and they're not going to run on Spencer Mahoney. Spencer, one of the biggest arms in 16-inch softball. Nobody out, so they held him. So Brian Kearns leads off with a sinking line drive. Greg Fleming got caught in between, tried to slide and knock it down. The ball jumped over him. Brings up Danny Dispenza. So Flashback coming off a big output in their first game, trying to jump up early here, top of the first. And there's a bullet hit right at Anthony Scarlatta. Scarlatta, one of the better third basemen, also has a batting title at an SSA major national championship tournament when we were up in Wheeling. So that brings up Joe Piscitelli. So the ball was hit on the screws, but right at a fielder. And we'll get into some rules for those of you checking us up. And there's a little soft flare. Mahoney goes back. Kearns looked like he was going to go. Mahoney was backpedaling. And there's a little ridge there, so he was backpedaling downhill. And Flashback, if Mike Manzella doesn't come through here, might strand the leadoff triple. So again, 16-inch softball, you're seeing it correct. No gloves. That's about 90% of what we do. Is I having a little trouble here with the Zoom. And so we play 60-foot bases. You can lead off, but you can't steal. And we have 38 feet from the pitching rubber to the point of home plate. 6'12" on the arc. We're playing no gloves, so you can see the pitcher gets a drag step, one step left, right, or back. And Manzella cranks it into left field. And down, leaping, tumbling catch by the left fielder. Marcoso looked like he got beat, reached up at the last minute and made the catch. So Flashback strands a leadoff triple, and we'll head to the bottom of the first. They hit the ball hard, but Signature's defense erased a few mistakes, and they made the plays. So you get the drag step, you get two fakes or hesitation, third arm action has to deliver the ball home. A throw or a fake toward a base is considered one of your fakes or hesitation. Difficult outfield here. They're very big, 300-foot fences. And down right field of this field and left field on field A, very difficult because it really slopes down for drainage reasons. And as a result, a lot of times you'll see the corner outfielders, right field this diamond, left field the other diamond. They're running basically downhill trying to get to the balls. And as a result, sometimes you'll see the ball go over the top. So here's Danny Marston leading off for the Signature Ball Club. And he swings and he goes opposite field. Kearns is there and he puts it away. So a couple of noticeable people not here tonight for Flashback. Joey Agardo hurt a quad muscle, so he's not ready to come back yet. And Justin Smykowski dinged up a shoulder. So here's Mark Manizzi, the second baseman now. And there's a little roller. Joe Pish, strong arm in time. So the lefty rolled one that was hugging the carpet. Pish stayed down, came up firing. And these fields, we did have rain earlier, so the ball you may not get as good a hop as you were thinking, especially through the shortstop area and the home plate areas, but so far it doesn't seem like it's much of a difference. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Spencer Mahoney. We don't see a lot of balls hit out of this ballpark. I think it was a couple of years ago. And there's Spencer, hits a rocket, and Kearns is there, and he makes the catch. Hit it about 270, Kearns on the spot. So a couple of years ago, on this diamond, Spencer hit a ball out, and then the next day on the other diamond, he hit a ball out. So it was windy all day, not that much of a breeze now. Both teams go dry, and we'll head to the top of the second, no score. Again, this is the Westchester TOC historic night as the SSA started the Chicago Summer Series this year, and this is the first of 4 events that make up the Chicago Summer Series. And one of our new anchor partners for this, of course, Sweet Buzz, Nick Drabo, and Gold Rush Gaming. So it's going to be fun. We'll be keeping stats and leaderboards. At the end of the year, we'll have all Summer Series teams. And then, of course, we'll also have all defensive teams, batting champ, MVP, RBI, home run. So it's going to be pretty fun. And it should keep you guys entertained all season. So here's Julian Gutierrez. He hits a lazy fly ball. Kozel puts that away. A lot easier than the play he made in the first inning to end the inning. So that brings up to short center Vito Iovino. So Flashback, of course, won the No Glove National Tournament last year out in Forest Park. And there's a swing and a base hit. So Vito with 1 out, Flashback gets a base runner, and it brings up Anthony Stacy. Although it's almost embarrassing when, hey Pete, it's almost embarrassing when a team like Flashback is missing a couple of guys and you look at their roster and you just kind of laugh. So this should be a good weekend. It's cooled down a little bit. I think we're good the rest of the night and should be fine the rest of the weekend. Line drive to Spencer, and he'll lob it to first for the double play. So Flashback right now stranded a triple, and they get caught on a soft line drive for a double play to end the inning. And George Bliss will be doing the 2-time defending champ Circus. It'll be our first look at Circus this year on the live stream. They'll be playing a young Impact team. And I'll be back at 8:30 as Meatball City drew a bye, and they'll get the winner of Moneyline and Iron. And that should be next to this. That's probably the biggest, potentially, if Moneyline should win. That's a potentially marquee-type matchup. So leading off is going to be Anthony Scarlata. And Scar actually And there's a little soft swing and caught by Ryan Ross. Slid underneath it, got his hands on it, started bobbling it, but it fell right into his belly, and he holds on. And that's a little unusual. Anthony Scarlatta usually doesn't try to get cute like that. He's a banger. He likes to go up there and hammer away. So that was a little bit of a different type of swing than we're used to seeing from Anthony. Now bring up Dave Navarro, the right fielder. So we got a lot of movement this year in 16-inch softball. So it's going to be pretty interesting. This is the first event that is truly SSA rostered. And there's a flip the other way, and that's going to drop for a hit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Dave was on iron last year. So it's going to take a few ball games before some of these major teams figure out what he likes to do. Brings up Chris Pakulis. Chris is a commercial airline pilot, I believe. So you don't see that often. So here comes Pick, a very strong guy. And he hits a ground ball up the middle. Vito, a little bobble. Everybody's safe. So Vito got there. He was playing deep. He had no chance of beating Navarro to the bag, but he fumbled it. And it brings up Matt Menizzi now. So Signature's first offensive threat of the ball game here, as we are in the bottom of the second here. Beautiful day to play softball today. No wind. Feels like it might be around 70, 68 degrees. Although they were saying that there was a possibility for some fog later. So we'll see if that happens. And Menizzi pounds it down the line. Navarro scores. Pickle stop at second. 1-0 Signature. So you don't normally see Mark Menizzi yank a ball right down the left field line. But he did there. And he'll bring up Greg Fleming. Greg had that misfortune of having that ball bounce over him in the first, and he hits a ground ball the other way. Meyer over to Iovino, double play, and that'll end the inning. Well done. Mike Myers, as slick as they come on the infield, caught a little backhand flip, and it was all academic after that. Again, we are live from Mayfair Park, 2024, Westchester TOC. First ever SSA Chicago Summer Series event. Live stream is powered by Gold Rush Gaming. If you're thinking of putting video gaming into your establishment, give them a call at 630-307-0500. You can email them at inquiries@goldrushgaming.com and tell them you heard about it on the live stream. So, of course, on a day when I wanted to check out my new microphone windscreen, there's no wind. So Signature's been wearing that fuchsia colored shirts. Today they went black. And I'll be honest with you. Well, what's covering the scoreboard, Lee? Because it doesn't really allow me to move it. So this is going to bring up John Zawoski. And John reaches for a little fly ball. Spencer Mahoney cruises over, makes an easy catch for out number one. So it looked like Zoe was trying to go hard and deep. Back shoulder dip, popped it right up the elevator shaft. And that's going to bring up Ryan Ross, the left fielder for Flashback. So here's Ryan Russ. Takes a strike. That sun is starting to set. This field is kind of reminiscent of Mount Prospect, where, you know, when you got to about 6:30 or this time of the day out there on field one, nobody could see the ball. And as a result of that, the front half of those games would be low scoring, and then the sun would set, and all of a sudden it'd be pounded, and that ball gets past Fleming in center. He took a flat turn. Mahoney can't handle the turn. He probably would have scored there. The relay was off target. Mahoney knocked it down with a paw. Would have been close because he's got the great equalizer. He's got an absolute hose. So Flashback, once again, has a runner at third with less than 2 outs. Had the leadoff triple in the first and didn't score him. So here's Mike Myers. Started that nifty double play on the bottom of the second. And Myers, a little soft fly ball. Let's see if they challenge Fleming. They are. Fleming with a cannon, but Pakulis can't handle the throw. And Flashback, a little aggressive base running. They tie the game at 1 here in the top of the third. Amalia, I don't know if he's talking about comments or if there's something blocking the actual scoreboard. For some reason on my video on this third-party softball, it has a timer, but I don't. And there's a swing by Mike Marasovic, and Moji, not the fleetest of foot, hustled his way in. Now, this is a tournament, so there are no courtesy runners, and we'll see if they pinch run. Flashback is blessed with a lot of pitchers between Moji, Gibbs, and John Zawoski, so they always have options. And the top of the lineup with Brian Kearns. So Will Russ is the pinch runner, not a courtesy runner. Takes that pitch a little deep. Flashback's hit the ball pretty hard in this game. And there's a little flare. She tried to walk the dog down the left field line, but it drifted foul. So 1-1 ball game here, top of the third. It's always interesting when the big teams play each other. They could be rolling along in a tournament, scoring a lot of runs, and then all of a sudden you end up with, and Kearns reached for that, and he hits a soft fly ball. Fleming makes the play, but Flash scratches and ties the game.
Stay out here, stay out here, stay out here, stay out here.
And try to figure a way to, and there's a bullet and it gets over Stacy. Mark Kozel hits a rocket.
Go 4-2. Come on, 4-2, let's go, kid.
So brings up the pitcher, Don Ronald.